The default scene has some lights. We can see it in the reflections created in this material. But we can also create our own lights. To do that in a scene, activate the sphere scene. We can see what we can add. Besides primitives lights, let's see a point light. It appears at the origin by default, but we can move it to another position, for example, if we want it to be in this area. From here we can define x equal to -2, and with a value of 1 and another meter above the ground. This would be the spotlight. We give it an intensity of 1, and we see that it eliminates this area and also the ground surface. In this case, we are lighting with this and the default lights. When we save and render the scene again, you will see that we have defined our own light. The application will disable the default lights and use only the ones we defined. In this case, only the spotlight. Here, when we edit it, if instead of intensity, we put an intensity of 2, we see that it has this effect, or if we move the position of the Y to bring it closer to the origin. We have moved it towards the origin. If we want to move it closer to the origin, we reduce the value of x from -2 to -1.5. If we want it to be in a higher position, we change z. This would be to put a point light. We call it point light. We add a second light. Directional. We give it an intensity and say it comes from direction 1, 1, 1. So we can see where it's coming from. If we want it to come from the highest part, we put a value of 4. And we see that it comes from that top part. 2 lights of 1 are very strong. We go down this one here. We already have a directional light. The directional lights in this case are set to cast a shadow. And a third type of light is the area light. Here we give it a width and a height, say 2x2 meters, and position it at a point. Let's bring it up a little bit and give it some intensity. Here we're lighting from the whole surface that we see that represents the light. In the directional, this rectangle is just to indicate the direction of the light. In the case of surface, it is actually the entire surface that illuminates the object. So here we have seen the 3 types of light. We gave them a name to identify them, and we can turn each one on or off independently. For example, this is the point that illuminates this zone.